Hi guys. So today I wanted to talk about these deceptive appearances that I was talking about last time. They do not matter in this world, because I'll tell you one thing: because we are merely projections of the core of the awareness, which is actually a random act of the awareness itself. So you cannot control your destiny, you cannot control your position right now. The only way what you can do is to accept it, and if you can accept it, that's the most that you can do. And you go along with it. Why is this the only option? Is because by the linear way of perceiving things, we perceive there is space and time, but space itself is a projection, just like you are a projection in this space. So all together is a projection, and projection itself already is an illusion. So now each new moment is its own projection, which means, like when we go back, if there is no space, if the space is an illusion because it's merely a projection, like we have a stage in a theater where it's a made-up thing, it just serves as an environment, as a scenery for a certain play that is taking place, for the characters that are inside that play, and that's about it. If the space is not real, if the space actually does not exist and it's merely a projection, an illusion, then of course also time does not exist. And if time doesn't exist, then we have no past and we have no future. We have only now. And in now, everything exists at the same time. Yeah? Even what happened, I don't know, 10,000 years ago or 1,000 years ago, that's all actually happening right now. What's gonna happen 3,000 years in the future, from now on, what is gonna happen is not gonna happen, it's actually happening. So if you can grasp the concept, it's very difficult to understand that something that you heard about like long time ago, and it was written that it happened long time ago, that it's actually happening right now. And that's something in your so-called future, or the perception of future, or the perception of time, that makes you believe that future exists somewhere, distant from now, somewhere, ahead. There is no such thing. There is no such thing as something being ahead or something being behind. Everything is right here, right now. And you will say, okay, so yeah, but we get old, we get wrinkles, we get, it's scientific proof, okay, right, that the time exists, right? It's no scientific proof, it's just your perception that makes it possible that this is actually happening. If you could stop that, and you can, time would not exist anymore, but then there would be no purpose of experiencing these things. I mean, you would actually be not even being able to experience this. You would not be able to experience this because simply you could not distinguish what's going on, because everything would be one big mess of things happening in exactly the same moment. And if they happen in all these same moment, you cannot distinguish anything. You cannot understand consequences. You cannot understand. You just wouldn't be building up awareness of yourself. And without the awareness, you are actually not really existing. I mean, you do exist, but you don't know about it. Which means you cannot use the power that you have. You're actually locked in a cage, wondering, or not wondering, just with the desire to express yourself. You don't know what you want to express, you just want to express yourself. Once you start expressing yourself in the linear perception, you start understanding that actually, what your power can do, and what does that mean for the rest of yourself, because there is no us being projected in this so-called space, but it's the core of the awareness that is being projected onto its own made-up screen. And for that, light is needed, because light is the transmitter of the projection itself, of the images itself. I mean, just merely projections. So it would be completely illogical to even fall for all these images in the society and regard them as something, place them in their importance, something up here, something down there, something in front, something way behind, and left, right, Yeah. Linear perception means that you perceiving as yourself moving towards something, or you're gonna achieve something. So which means you creating, you believe this space to be true because you understand as you coming from point A to point B, which means to get from point A to point B it takes time. And why it takes time? Because it doesn't take any time, right? It's just movement. But with movement, you notice the difference in scenery. You notice the difference in, coming from one place to another and thinking and started counting. Okay, this was here and this was there. So it took me so much time, right? Or it took me, this much to get up here or down there or left or right or however you perceive this. And that's why time, exists only in your mind, as as this. Man, roads in LA are terrible. I'm telling you, a bunch of potholes and stuff, and So, anyways, okay. So your awareness is making things seem like you are this solid being, solid piece of meat walking around, yeah? But it's not true, because all this is an illusion. You're just a projection, you're just an image projected into this space that is also a projection itself. Just a moment. Hi. I'm gonna go to. Do I park here or? Yeah. Oh, okay. 30 minutes of free validation. Okay. Thank you. So anyway, so this is the point, and you know, so each image that is projected exists only in this right now. There is no image that would exist somewhere in the past or somewhere in the future. That's why, you know, the future and the past do not exist, because as soon as the image is projected in now and is exchanged for another image, that other image from before is gone. It doesn't exist. It's over. It's gone in space and time. In space, I mean, time exists only because you perceive it as, you know, like I said before, because you're moving somewhere, yeah, and then when something changes around you, which means that you are moving, that's why things you perceive as something is changing, and the rest of the things are moving as there are also projections, and they have their own life, they're also moving. That's why you have this perception that time exists, because something changes, and because something changes, you notice that something was different before from now. That's how you think there is past, and that's how, because you have past, then of course you also have the opposite of past, which is future. But now the neutral point, you just do not perceive. You're with this linear perception, time in and now, you know, it's impossible for you to grasp it. That's it.